Hey friends, it's time for Wrestle Ramble. I ramble about wrestling. Be it a show or a match I watch, to give you my raw, unfiltered, uncut thoughts on what I just saw. Now, I want to talk about the tag team match between Kevin Knight with Will Ospreay and who was he? Blake Christian and Big Shotty Lee Johnson. This match was a star maker, in my opinion. This match is to set up the opening round of the Owen Hart Classic between Kevin Knight and Will Ospreay. So they teamed them together before this weekend's sporting event. And I thought that this was a star-making effort for, in particular, Kevin Knight and Blake Christian. Kevin Knight, for one, because the last time I saw him was in Impact Wrestling, and he was positioned as kind of an plucky up and comer. He was being mentored by and tagging with Kushida, and he was very much looked at as a tag team specialist and a younger cat lower on the wrestling card. And with Blake Christian, after he left NXT, he did a lot of work on the indies and quickly became affiliated with Ring of Honor since it was under the AEW banner. And I believe now he actually officially is signed to Ring of Honor AEW. And one thing Blake Christian did is he really, really reinvented himself on the independent scene, namely in GCW. Whereas usually a guy like him, a flashy high flyer, and the way he looks, he's going to be a good guy forever. But in GCW, he came around in a very interesting time because they had a female world champion in Masha Slamovich. And, she was very tough and a strong champion. But the way that he approached his match with her was dirty and underhanded. And though she was very tough, he was slightly bigger and he used dirty tactics to eventually win her GCW World Championship. And during that time, he really, really developed kind of this scumbag, cocky persona that was like, yeah, I can be flashy, I can be a high flyer, and I can do all this stuff, but despite all that, I'm still going to be a scumbag. And it really worked for him. And at the same time he was doing that, he was on Ring of Honor still trying to be a good guy, which you could tell from the way that he even worked in his matches. It was an uncomfortable shift for him to make because he had been making all this progress as a bad guy character. And the last few times I've seen him with Big Shotty Lee, he has been firmly in the bad guy heel side of tactics. And I think that it really works, and it's going to be something that sets him apart as a high flyer who is just a dick. He's just not a good guy. And tonight he was in there with Will Ospreay doing some amazing stuff. When he did a 450 foot stomp from the top rope, I about fell out of his chair. I've never seen anything. It was as flashy as it was underhanded and despicable. A combination you just don't see. It was beautiful. And Kevin Knight, since the last time I saw him, he's put on a lot more size, a lot more muscle. He's gotten a lot more ring time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I do think that Kevin Knight is going to be a guy that's going to be in the world title scene someday in AEW if he doesn't go to another company and hit. He's going to be a main eventer with his personality, his size. He can rise to wherever they let him. So that was a great match. Of course, Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight won. I believe Kevin Knight got the pin over Big Shotty Lee. And to take nothing away from him, since he's been working with Blake Christian, I feel like he is a character that is really developing finally. He is one of the originals of AEW, and he's kind of been floating around the lower to mid card, not really having a direction. But this this team up with Blake Christian, I think it is a good look. He looked very comfortable in the ring and had a real good showing. So that's my thoughts on that. Thank you for watching Wrestle Ramble, and I will see you next time.